fighting continues unabated, even as the West Asia war has now entered the 25th day. US and Israel continuing to strike Iran despite Trump's claim of what he called productive talks. Tehran has not only dismissed that as fake news, but it's also retaliating in equal measure with strikes on several cities of Israel and other parts of the region. And as Iran launched its 79th wave of missiles, including the Khyber Shakan and Sajil, and drones towards Israel, which grappled to intercept them, an explosion could be heard in central Tel Aviv, followed by billowing smoke, widespread damage visible in the city in the aftermath of the Iranian strikes. At least 4 people were injured, 3 buildings, several cars were heavily damaged. IRGC claimed to have targeted military centers in Negev and other parts. It also warned of more attacks against Israeli military positions in northern Israel and Gaza. Lawmakers in the Israeli parliament, meanwhile, were forced to take cover and leave an auditorium used as a wartime plenum chamber with the idea of detecting an Iranian missile attack targeting Jerusalem and central Israel.
Benjamin Netanyahu, bad.
In fact, Amazon Web Services announced that its service in Bahrain had been disrupted owing to the drone activity in the region. Previously, 2 of its data centers in the UAE and a facility in Bahrain were damaged by drone strikes, remember. On the other side, the IDF also continued its offensive, having struck over 3,000 targets since the start of the war. It claimed to have struck the main security headquarters of the IRGC. It also completed a huge wave of strikes in Isfahan. So far, the IDF has claimed to have destroyed or disabled 330 of Iran's 470 missile launchers. Iran has now named Mohammad Zolgadar as its new security chief. He served as a top IRGC commander during the Iran-Iraq war. From 1989 onwards, he served for 16 years at the highest levels of the IRGC command. He also served as the Deputy Interior Minister for Security from 2005 to 2007. And since 2021, he has been chairing the Expediency Council, which also advises the Supreme Leader, just for context. Now, as the debate continues over Trump's announcement of that 5-day pause on attacks on Iranian infrastructure, a key question hanging in the air: what really changed in a span of about 48 hours? From threatening obliteration of Iran's power plants over the weekend to touting what he called productive talks with Iran on Monday, Trump's, in a way, U-turn has come under the scanner. And if Trump believed that a 48-hour ultimatum to Iran would compel it to solve the Strait of Hormuz issue, he was in for a rude shock. What followed was an intense counterattack by Iran. Iranian missiles managed to breach Israel's air defense systems over the weekend, striking Dimona, which is believed to host a nuclear facility. In a separate attack on the city of Arad, and 10 apartment buildings were considerably damaged. Overall, at least 175 people injured The war clearly has reached a point of no return as of now, the way things stand. And this development, along with Iran's counter threat to destroy all energy infrastructure projects in West Asia, likely to have played a big role in Trump's climb down. Despite Trump's claim, Iranian media reported that gas facilities in Isfahan and a gas pipeline of Khorramshahr power plant were targeted in Israeli-US strikes. While the US has not reacted to that claim, CENTCOM also released footage of precision strikes on alleged Iranian military targets. With de-escalation in the pipeline, diplomacy is at play yet again. Just a few hours earlier, US President Donald Trump dialed Prime Minister Modi to discuss the ongoing West Asia war and stressed on the importance of keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. On his part, the Prime Minister expressed support for de-escalation and restoration of peace at the earliest. That's not all. Pakistan, which is grappling with multiple conditions on the ground, in fact, war on its Western Front and rising anti-US sentiment, has jumped into the fray reportedly. Amid speculation about Islamabad's behind-the-scenes role, its Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif openly offered to host talks between the US and Iran, subject to concurrence of both countries. And as the war rages on, the human cost of the conflict is only mounting. The casualties continue to rise. Iran's death toll has now surged over 1,500. On the other hand, 13 US military personnel have died. 200 others have been injured. Israel's intensified attacks have resulted in over 1,000 deaths in Lebanon so far. Those are the numbers on your screen. And with no clarity yet on the progress of the talks between the US and Iran, the future of the war and the region hangs in balance.